a lot of work in there that, reporters started to see, and they started to write on me. And so I got an agent at that point. So I started going on.
How old were you? How old were you at this time?
Oh man, I want to say 13, probably 13. Okay. And so when that happened, it was like I got an agent, and now I'm going on auditions. Now out there around that time, it was mostly like infomercials. You might get like a TV movie that was filming in the shot at that point. It's not like out now where everything films in Chicago, but at that point it was like some TV and then like films and then infomercials and commercials. So I got like a Subway commercial, and if you blink, you ain't see me because I was in a crowd of like Subway employees, and it, so I don't even, you couldn't even see me. And then I modeled. So by agency, I also model. So I modeled for Captain Crunch. So that was my biggest thing. I was on the
Captain
back
Crunch?
Yeah, bro. I was on the back of a Crunch Berries box.
Hey,
and I was like, hey, with a hot top fade. And everybody started chasing me around the neighborhood like, yo, he on the cereal box. You know what I mean? So I always tell people I was a model first. You know what I mean?
Hey, let them know.
But all that came when I was like, all that audition came when I was a sophomore in high school. So you're talking about a couple of years later. And that came along, and it was a nationwide audition, where they were going around everywhere, seeing kids from every city. And I ended up getting a role, man. I auditioned for that and got the part. And it was like I had to go through a series of auditions.
I was going to ask you, do you remember what the audition process was?
Yeah, bro. So I remember I was late to the audition. And
kind of like this podcast, Kel.
hey.
You got a good reason. You got a good reason.
I got a good reason.
You got a good reason.
You counting the contractions, right?
Right. Your wife is probably crowning right now. You're out here talking to me.
I keep listening though on every pause we have. I'm like, okay.
Right. Nah, I feel you.
But yeah, shout out to my new baby boy that's gonna be coming.
Hey, y'all already have a name?
Yes, we do. We got a name.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but audition process. Late.
So I was late. Pops, my dad, we were on the way, but we hit some traffic. I was late. I walk in, Brian Robinson's in there, Michael Tolan, they're all in there, they're chilling. And I knock over some camera cords, right? And so I'm like, I'm already late, and I knocked over camera cords. This is ridiculous. And then I forgot my monologue because I got midterms on my mind because, I'm a sophomore in high school. That never happened. So I'm like, bro, what? So then they were like, you can go back outside and try to do it. So I go outside, and I come back in, and they thought it was funny how physical I was with the cameras and all this stuff and fixing it. So then they were like, well, why don't you start with like some impersonations? I was like, oh, bet. So I did some impersonations, but what I did was I didn't do people that were on TV. I did like my uncles, my teachers, people that I saw in Chicago on the L train. So I'm doing all of this, and they like, yo, that was super, super funny, right? They was going crazy. Like Coach Cretan was like birthed in there,
Wow.
Ed was birthed in there. And so did all of that. A week go by. Oh, I did my monologue, and then I murdered the monologue because I did it. I was, and then after that, it was like I want to say a week, and I ain't hear nothing. So usually when you don't hear nothing, you think you ain't got it. I remember I was praying at night, go to bed, and the phone rang, and my mom was like, huh? What'd you say now? Right, so she running around, and she's like, yo, you got a call back. I'm like, bet. So now we fly to LA to go audition, right, in LA. Now it's everybody, bro. I'm talking about, it's the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody from every walk that's coming to audition for this thing. Every kid, funny kid, everywhere.
Do you remember some of the kids?
Yeah, auditioned? So like, Lori Beth was there, Josh was there, Alicia was there, like the main seven was there, mixed with a whole bunch of other kids that are now celebrities too. But a whole bunch of other kids.
Well, that's what I said. Who's some of the other celebrities that were there? Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember because they talk about it a lot, but they not hitting me right now.
Oh, okay.
But it was like
Leonardo DiCaprio.
But it was so crazy, and I got through. And I was excited, man. Then we flew to Florida to shoot the show. And it was just a special. Like, it wasn't supposed to be a series yet. Because Nickelodeon hadn't tried out this hip-hop, very diverse type of show. So Brian was like, oh, it's going to be hot. I'm telling you, he was very in tune with hip-hop and stuff like that. And this was like they say Saturday Night Live, which it is like that too, but it's definitely like a Living Color as well.
Definitely,
You
absolutely.
know what I mean? So it was definitely like a kid version of the Living Color and Saturday Night Live mixed together, and it killed. So I went back to Chicago thinking like, oh, we just gonna have this special, see what happens with it. It's all good. It blew up. You know what I mean? It just blew up.
Incredible, man. I'm telling you, when I was a kid, I wanted to be on that show more than anything. I'm gonna tell you a crazy story. I remember writing, because I'm from Florida, and I found out like, oh, they filmed this in Florida. I remember they used to have these books, like these Hollywood directory books, and it used to have like agencies and casting directors information. So I literally hand wrote a letter to the casting office of all that. When I don't know how, I probably was 13 at the time or something. And I was like, I love all that. And I would love nothing more than to be a cast member. Nothing more. Sincerely, Broke Negro. And so I sent that off to the casting director. Casting actually called me. They called me. They was like, oh my God, that was so sweet of you to write this this letter. You know, we don't know if we're gonna be able to get you on the show, but you know, we'll at least like pass along your headshot. Cause that's when I was just getting into like just even getting. So man, what that show did, man, was incredible because like you said, it was like in Living Color, in the diversity. I mean, back then people got to realize if there was more than one black cast member on a TV show, that was already setting precedents. You know, that was a well, show all that photo, nigga. We talk about all that.
It's all good. We was going there too. We
will go there, but you know, I be trying to take people on the ride, you know. But but get it. Yeah, well that's the later version. It's another one.
Say that. Don't do that to him.
I know, right? I like giving them crap sometimes. That's find the younger. It's another one that's like a super, like the first cast, like all the original cast members.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna get into was when you got on the show, was there any time that you was intimidated by the other cast members because you thought, wow, they're really funny? And was there any of that?
Absolutely not. Not like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Y'all know I'm a beast out here in these streets. What you talking about? There we go. That's
my family. There go my family.
There we go. That's the original cast right there.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. What do you remember about them times being on that show?
We were babies, man. We were really kids, and it's super exciting. And the thing about it was that we shot on Universal Studios Live. So, you know, you had the amusement park of all of that in your backyard of shooting on the studio. And then also you had like these musical guests that would come through. And I was rapping at the time. So for me, it was like super crazy that all the artists I was just like super excited about coming on the show, hanging out with us, going to Universal Studios and chilling with us. And some that we still stay in contact with today, you know, like TLC, they family, you know what I'm saying? They ended up doing a theme song and I was fans of them before I even got on the show, and now we still stay in contact. So it's like super, super crazy in that way. And then as far as to answer your other question, for me, it was like, I had like Chicago, like with me, you know what I'm saying? And my mom was like, you know, it's a blessing, right? Okay, it's a blessing, but if you don't want to continue to do that, her and my pops was like, you don't want to continue to do this, you don't have to. But if you're going to do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? And my main thing was like, I've seen so much growing up in the Chi. I was like, yeah, man, if this is opportunity, a lot of my big homies was telling me like, yo, Kel, you go be funny. You go kill it. You go do that. Like I remember when my uncle was murdered, right? And it was a whole situation where it was just like, everybody was angry. So me too. Like, yeah. And then they was like, he loved you. He would want you to do what you're doing right now. So you go make us proud. That was one of my cousins told me, you make us proud and you gonna make us proud on TV. So I went out there with that. Like it was like savage on the stage to the point where it was like every character I want to put my all into it and they cracking up and falling on the floor. So for me, that's what I did. Now, there was a learning curve because I will shout out Keenan on this for me because he had already been doing movies and shows and stuff like that. And so when I got on stage, there was a boom mic. And I was from theater, where that the back of the row needs to hear you, right? And so I come on there and I'm doing the character super loud. You know, I'm already a loud person. And I'm doing it loud, and the boom guy's like this. And Keenan is like, yo, you know, you ain't gotta do it like that. You know what I'm saying? You can like talk a little bit. You ain't gotta talk that loud. I'm like, oh, bro, I didn't even know dude was up there. That's how tapped in I was. I didn't even see like the mic. And I was like, oh, my bad. So then it was just like those learning curves that, you know, those are the things I learned from my castmates and things like that.
Well, yeah, that's definitely what I wanted to, you know, touch on was, you know, you and Keenan's relationship was like, y'all was like Batman and Superman, you know. How was that first time meeting? Do you remember the first time y'all met each other? Yeah, what was that? And then why do you think you all clicked so well?
Okay, so Keenan was the last one picked on all that, right? And so he had already done Mighty Ducks. So it was a moment where everybody that got picked on the show met up at a hotel. So that night, everybody was there. In the morning, we were gonna meet everybody who got in. And so everybody was walking in one by one. I don't know if they did it this way, but we were all walking in the lobby one by one. So it was like we were walking in, like we about to game. And so I remember walking in and I sit down like, okay, who's gonna be next? Right? So then Keenan come in, and this is the funniest thing ever. He rolled in on the Mighty Ducks rollerblades.
That's crazy.
And he had his he had the bag with the Mighty Ducks on it. And I was like, yo, this kid is hilarious. I'm gonna be hanging out with this kid. And then my mom, she had decided to come out there with me, and she was my manager at the time, so my momager. And Keenan's mom, both of them were like the same size, same build, and you know, we just clicked. You know what I mean? And then also too, as well. I mean, you know, we was both black. You know,